Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and welcome to the Broken Harmony Tipped and Straight videos. As you can tell, I'm not actually Markiplier. But anyways, I have a fair amount of time on this game, so I will be doing some tips and tricks for you scientists, Tetos out there. A round of applause for me. Anyways, let's get right into the tips and tricks. Let's have a look at Raging Screech. Okay, so Raging Screech. Go. Okay, so Raging Screech. So if you don't know or if you don't read, Raging Screech gives you a 5-second speed boost, which allows you to go into sprint. That's what the speed boost does. It just makes you sprint. And it gives slowness to players around you. And it goes for very long too. So, for example, if this plant was a person, and if you use Raging Screech, I could get 3 to 4 hits on them, which is 25, 50, and 75 hits of damage. Like 3 hits. You can get 3 hits on just by using Raging Screech at a very close range. And yes, you have to be close. Like, close. If you're not close, then the effect won't work. But you can still use it for the speed. Which is really good. So, let's move on to the next thing I have. The Rush. The Rush ability. So, you could use it for 2 things. You could either use it if you're trapped walking and can't find anyone, and you have your main ability or speed ability off cooldown. You can actually use it for speed, since it gives you the sprinting speed but a bit more, since it's used for rushing down players, so it has a bit more speed. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Rush has a tiny bit more speed than the player's sprint speed, so you actually faster than the scientist when you're using that ability. And as I said, you could either use it for catching up if you don't have any speed, or speed abilities on cooldown if you're desperate, or you could use it to what it's intended for, rushing down players. And it does 30 damage, same as Leaking Heat. Pretty good for pretty good. But there's one thing you need to know: how to control the thing. See, you move left and right. W, you don't have to move W. Turning makes you do this. It gives you a little curve if you press D or downwards. This is PC controls, what I'm talking about. And you only really need to move left and right, because you don't need to hold forward since it's already doing it for you, so you just need to go left and right. Okay, and for killer, only use stamina when... Don't use stamina in chase, it doesn't do anything, when you're sprinting. But when you're low, use your stamina. It gives you speed. And it gives you time to catch up. Or you could also use this if you're desperate, as I said 3 times. So, after that, there's the other 2 abilities. Let me get them real quick. There's Leaking Heat and Raging Eye. See, I don't really use those abilities that much compared to the two. Leaking Heat's good. It's basically like a free hit if you can aim. But I'll talk about Raging Eye for now. Raging Eye is basically Raging Screech, but it doesn't give slowness and it gives you more speed. You sacrifice the slowness for like extra speed. It's really good if you don't know how to counter loops yet, because it gives you 10 seconds of speed, like sprinting speed. And if you're like very far away from like a player or scientist, it's really good for catching up. And it's really good if you're like getting looped, since you have 10-second speed, and that's enough time to catch up to the scientists if they're looping you. It's a really good anti-looping tool. But Raging Screech is just way better. Even if it's just like 5 seconds, it still gives sprinting speed. That's probably enough time to catch up. And Raging Screech gives slowness as well, as we know, which is way better than Raging Eye, because Raging Eye doesn't do that. It doesn't do anything, it just gives you speed. Because with the slowness, you could get multiple hits on them. So if you're new, I would recommend Raging Eye, since it's pretty easy and simple to use. But if you know how to like loop, like, or counter loops as killer, or just catch up to people in general, then just use Raging Screech, because Raging Screech, as we know, gives the more damage, the more slowness. So yeah, Raging Eye is basically a bit useless, because Raging Screech basically is the better version of it. But moving on, we have Leaking Heat. See, Leaking Heat's not like Raging Eye or whatever. It's different. But here. This is what it does. You throw something. It's usually a leak, but I'm wearing the VIP skin, so it's this star-like thing. And basically... Okay, I've never seen that before. And basically, what you do, it comes from out of your torso, not from your arm. And that's all it does. It goes straight forwards, it bounces, it goes here. Yeah, it just bounces across the place. That's all it does. It does 30 damage, the same amount as the dash. And it's a projectile. You throw it. So what do you do with this? Well, simple. You just simply throw it at the player when they're low on stamina or right in front of you, because it goes in a straight line. So if the player is right in front of you and doesn't dodge, and they're pretty close, then it's just a free hit. Leaking Heat is just a free hit. And it also can attack multiple people at once. Actually, can it? Yeah, I think. Well, it can hit the same player twice in a row. But yeah, that's basically it for killer. I'll go into the more looping sections and how to counter loops later and with experiment. But otherwise, this is it for the killer abilities. I'll be moving on to scientist now. This is Scientist Teto. What does Teto do? Teto has 200 stamina and 100 health. So they're pretty healthy. So, what do you do as Teto? You do task. That's all you do. So Teto is a looper. They're like... They do tasks. They're basically like the survivalists. So there's many task locations. I'll put them up on screen. I'll show where they are, how to get to them. Yeah, right now. Here. Done reading? You can also pause if you want. But yeah, that's where the locations are. So what do you do? So map 2, there's they have like different puzzles. Map 2, you have the tubes, the blue neon tubes, like that, but more blue. Yeah, like that. And what you do with them is just a simple puzzle. Like, get the one block to the other block. Basically, like think of it as a maze. But, yeah, it's like a maze. And you have to, like, find the solution. And the exclamation mark thingies, if you accidentally attach it to the exclamation marks, then it buzzes out and you fail. But you could... It also takes a few seconds for the maturity prompt to also come back up. And then you can get on again. It also highlights. So, don't fail. Got that? Got that? Okay. So... Oh yeah, and map 1, there's like a circle, you got a bar, and when you see the block, you use the bar to block it, and then it goes faster and faster. That one's pretty simple. Just good luck with aiming. It also takes a... I mean, it does take a bit, but it should be fine if you master it. Okay, so that's Teto's task done with. So, what do you do with her when you're in chase? Oh, that's simple. Loop. Just loop. That's all you do. How do you loop? Loop. Just... oh yeah, with looping, I'll show a few looping locations later. Later. So, that's it for Scientist Teto. There's not really that much her. She's just a task doer. That's really it. But let's move on to a better person. A person that's more active in the game. Let's go to Neru. Neru's, okay. Okay, so with Neru, you can aim anywhere. Up and down, like anywhere. And shots stop when you hit a wall. Like that. So... what do you do with her? Okay. So... you could... okay, so... where you're facing at, you could turn around instantly. Neru has a windup for like 0.5 seconds. Or less. So you could do something like this, for example. Pretty quick. With Neru, you gotta be careful of your shots. Sometimes you might not know what you're doing, but if you're good at aiming, you're good at Neru. That's what I have to say. You can also shoot up and down for some reason. I don't know why you would need to do that, but you can. And another tip with Neru. Okay. So pretend the killer is right behind the store. Well, guess what? Since Neru only cares if she hits an object, and then it stops the hitbox. It doesn't actually care if it passed through that object. Meaning, you can actually shoot, not through the door, but you could shoot at the door, which, if the killer is, standing right behind it, touching it, it actually will hit them. It will hit them. Why is this useful? Because if you're doing something like this, if you close the door, the killer's right behind you, then you could do this, and you can shoot them right before they open the door. And yeah, it's like a free hit if you can get the shot, or if they're close enough. So yeah, that's it for now. I still don't know why you need to aim up and down, but I guess it might be useful. You could like, you do this. Oh yeah, beware. Don't be like too like careless of your shots. Like you could hide behind walls and like do something like this if you want. Or you can hide behind a corner, you can like wait for them. And then once they pop out, like they go around here, you could shoot them like this. But yeah, that's all we really have for now. Just stay out of sight of the killer, I guess. Or if you could like, if you could like shoot from far away, like the killer's chasing someone else to go and like past here, you could be far away and do that and shoot the killer. But yeah, that's all we really have for now. Moving on to the next. Actually, before that. Before that. This goes for everyone, by the way. This goes for like all scientists. Stay out of sight as the killer if they're like not sprinting. Or just stay out of sight. Because killer only gains sprint when you're in sight of them. So I would recommend like hiding behind a wall somewhere where you can like still view them. Or they could also go through the door glass. But yeah, just stay out of sight if you can. Because you also don't want to like mess up loops that teams are using. Which I doubt, but anyways. Yeah. I'll move on to the next puzzle now. Which is Gumi. On use default. Which is Gumi. Gumi, she's probably the hardest character to play as right now. And it might not be for the reason you expect, or might be exactly why you expect, what the reason you expect. It's the fact that she relies on teamwork. Like, she heavily relies on teamwork. Sure, she can easily, she has 225 stamina. So, guess what? She can loop the killer easily. And the killer won't be able to do anything about it. In LS, Last Scientist Standing. But she also not that good at learn at the same time. Because she doesn't, like, unlike Teto and Neru, she doesn't actively do anything. She only waits for Teto or Neru or another Gumi to, like, get hit. And that's kind of boring most of the round. You have to, like, keep track on who's getting hit or not. I've heard that most people use Gumi for stamina. I mean, yeah, but, like, that's not really her point, you know. But at the same time, I can see why you're doing it, since she's just kinda boring most of the time. Because she would be fun, but she's not implemented correctly yet. This isn't about me complaining about Gumi, this is tips and tricks. So, what you do as Gumi, you can actually heal a scientist while running. So, if the scientist is like, if you're on side by side, if you believe the scientist has a lot of stamina and can run, then if the killer's chasing right behind you, you can actually latch on to that scientist. And when I mean latch, I mean heal them. And then you can run with them. And you can heal them successfully. And also get the speed boost to run away. But this relies on them just like teamwork, you know. This relies on them actually having the stamina to run with you. And not being at like 20 stamina, for example. Where they have to like stop, juke around. And you might be like, yeah, I might have to like hide away. Since Gumi's healing gets cancelled on hit, So you have to also be careful to not get hit while healing for a successful heal. And yeah, that's basically what you do. You can also do the safer option. If the scientist gets out of chase, you can find somewhere safe with them, or they can find somewhere safe, and you can kill them. You could go in this corner and for example, and kill them, and the experiment will be too busy with someone else or trying to find you. That you'll be able to heal in time, since it takes 3 to 5 seconds to heal, I think. Yeah, so that's Gumi. She also doesn't really have that good communication on health, from what I noticed. So try to keep on track as health as much as possible, and just try to be a helpful unit and just not hide most of the time. Because remember, you have 225 stamina. You have a lot. It's not like you're gonna be going down anytime soon. But her major weakness is her health, because it only takes two hits. It takes 4 hits to kill her, but it could also take 2 hits and 1 ability to kill her. So 2 M1s and 1 dash or leaking heat. Especially leaking heat, that can be deadly. Or even dash, they're both kind of deadly for Gumi, since it makes it easier for her to die. So be aware of leaking heat and dash if you're playing as Gumi. Do not try to get hit by those at all, because you're basically losing 2 hits. You're losing 2 hits, because it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 M1 hits to kill Gumi. And when you do, but wait, no, I don't mean that. But when you use an ability, it does 30 damage, which lowers it by 1 hit and another hit. It basically halves it. So be aware of dash and leaking heat. That's all I have to say for health. And yeah, and stamina management as usual and other stuff. But yeah, that's it for Gumi. Now, I will be going to the roleplay servers to talk about the maps and how you can utilize them. So, let's go. Okay, map 1, the repairing rooms. So, yep. This is the repairing rooms. Okay, so this is map 1. So what do you do? Actually no. With the loops and all the other players, here I will do the most infamous one. This loop right here. Wait, but actually no. Before that, let's talk about door jukes. So a door juke is when you go in here, go behind the door, and guess what? When the experiment comes in, boom, you juke them. They're in the room, they have to open the door. That's a door juke. Okay, and you can do it also. You can also do it here, and you can also do it here. You can basically do it anywhere with a door. Now, here's the infamous loop. So, the experiment's right behind you, for example. Close the door. Experiment has to open that door. You go out. You go all the way here. Experiment also has to open that door. You go right over here. That's 3 doors, and you get 3 stamina. And yeah, they could try to go around here. They could try, opening this door, going around here. But you could just camp here, and they could also go here. This is a safe check area. Yeah. Or you could also try to door check them like this. And yeah, that's like it's a very good loop. Why? Because the doors have like they have cooldowns, but there's 3 of them here. So if you utilize them correctly, you can actually like you can actually just loop them for most around. But there's actually might be a few better loops. Actually, one better loop that I might talk about. It might not work for now, but Gumi seems to work perfectly fine with it. Actually, I think it could work with now. You could also do this loop if you want. I mean, it's good because you have 2 doors here where you could potentially door juke with. But besides that, I wouldn't really say it's the best. It's pretty good though. The same goes for here. You could door juke here. You can also door juke over there, or that room. But this one's better since it also leads back to the door. I would say actually they're equally the same since they both lead back to the storeroom over here. But there's one loop that like it basically takes half the map. So you go over here, camp over here, killer goes through here. They can't sprint because they're not on line of sight of you yet. You go all the way here, all the way back here, check spot here. You check if they're going around here, or they're going over there, or they're going over there, like right over there, or they're going here, and then you just continue. You can go back, check spot here. This is a good check spot. Killer might go there, or killer might go back. If the killer goes back, you go over here, or if they go forwards over here, you go back here. It's not that complicated. It's really good because guess what? This takes like a third of the map. It's not I'm not even kidding. It takes like a third of the map, and even with like Raging Eye, Raging Screech, they might lose track because you could also enter the door room from here. So like if they notice your pattern, if you keep them continue. And then they go over here, but turns out you're actually all the way here in this room because you abandoned the loop, which made them lose like rhythm on where you're going, and you're just gonna be like over there or over here or somewhere entirely hidden, and they're gonna have to use like another indicator ability like Raging Screech or Raging Eye to find you again. Gonna sprint. But that's gonna waste a little time, and by then you could already hear it from where they are, and then you could go back to the loop or somewhere else entirely. So that's why I think this loop is probably the best, since it combines both of the loops, the 2 major loops, and there's multiple directions where you can come from. So yeah. This is the experiment labs. This is a door heaven. Yep. You could also squeeze through here, by the way, if you didn't know. It saves a bit more time than going around. Actually keep the door open. So, the reason why this map is pretty good, the spawn area is pretty good. There's a long corridor here. You could probably get a few shots, or there's like a long range. You could probably, as an area, get a few shots here. Or the killer can hide behind here when there's shooting. Or even like run up the plants, because killer can hide behind plants. So yeah, this is a pretty open area until you get to like here. But the reason why this map is really good is because of this room right here. See, this room is probably one of the best rooms. Why? Well, there's 4 doors. That's already a good start because doors, as you know, waste time because the killer has to open it. But not only that, you could also loop around here. And if you use something, if they use an ability to catch up to that, then you can also escape. And you can branch off to one of the directions. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 directions where you can go at. You could either go through here as well, or you could open this door, go through here, and go all the way here, or already have the 2 doors open to go through them and not indicate anything, and then go through here. Doesn't sound bad? Well, let's make it worse. See, once you loop through it, you can also go here. Like, the killer can also go through back there, but you can also go, like, from here, go here. This is only if you have, like, shorter stamina, if you're, like, wasted all your stamina. And then you can just camp here. And then if you can see the shadow coming from here, when this direction coming from here, which is more obvious, you can run from this direction. Yeah, that's basically it for this map. There's not really that much besides the killer spawn being there, the survivor one being there, but you should probably know that already. But let's talk about general tips. So, fun fact, screeches and footsteps come from the killer themselves. So that means every time they walk, or every time they screech, you can hear that. So if they're like if they're over here where I am, and I'm like over all the way in here, I can hear where they're coming from. So I know they're over there. So I run back here. See? So that can come in handy if you like know how to hear properly. If you're not deaf. If you're deaf, then why are you watching this video? Unless you're reading captions, which are automated, since I'm not making that shit. Yeah. Yeah. That's a general tip right there. You can also see the killer's shadow from, like, if the killer is coming through here, you can see the shadow. It's not really that useful, since by then you'll already probably be being chased. But who knows, it could come in handy. That's just a few general tips. Now, here's the last section. It's the killer themselves. Like, what do you do if a player is looping you? Well, that's simple. Raging Screech, Raging Eye. Basically any ability can counter that. Well, maybe not Leeking Heat, since it's kind of unpredictable. You really use Leeking Heat more in chase than actually like finding or like doing it, like doing anything with it. So what if you do if you're getting like looped? Like for example, actually this map is probably not that good for explaining. So like for one example, like Teto's over here, like they're doing the same loop as I explained earlier, right over here, where they're doing this. You're getting looped, and then you slow down because you can see them inside. What do? You use Raging Eye, or Raging Screech, to get back up, and keep the loop going. But then, what if they just disappear? Well, guess. Automatically guess. Because if you know they couldn't go all the way here, or in there, or all the way there in time, or by there, for example, just make a guess. Just assume they went in here, and who knows, they might be camping right over here, and then you can just continue to chase. Not really a great tip, but it's there. Or you could also use, I probably wouldn't say dash, but like if you ran out of speed, then yeah, it's probably best to use dash for speed. If if you just use the like cooldown back there. What's going on? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in chat. Yeah, maybe Dodge on one play service. But yeah. That's if for looping. Actually countering loop. You know what? I mean, that's already really got to say for countering loops. It's just use your two abilities. Your two speed abilities. Like, that's all you... And stay inside as much as you can. Like, don't hide like this. Unless it's narrow, don't hide like this. Just... because that's kind of reasonable if they're trying to shoot. Like, stay inside of all times. Stay inside of the person at all times. Keep track on them. That's kind of general, but it's really something you need to do. You have to like keep track on them, because what do you mean I'm disconnected from voice chat? What is going on? And after you're done with that, if you, I hope this video can really help. I hope it really does. I'm just kind of spilling out facts and not really doing that much, but yeah. My microphone just died. I don't know what caused that to happen. I'm disconnected from voice chat. Okay, I don't know what's happening. So that's all we really have.